Welcome to the BEASTwriter family, where social media engagement is encouraged. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we are going to be breaking down and making sense of my 2021 all-rookie team when it comes to the rookies that are coming out of this 2021 draft class. Now, a lot of moving parts have to take place. We don't know how the depth chart is going to shake up, where these players are sometimes going to be positioned based on projecting as a 34 base defense to a 43 base defense, But that's why you guys follow me. I go ahead and break it down brick by brick as I make each selection on all 22 players and the top 22 rookies. If you follow my draft grades, you will notice that in my grading system, I don't rely on PFF, that Rayquan Davis was the guy, the best defensive tackle in last year's draft class. I said coming out, he was probably the best run stuffer in the NFL. Coming in as a rookie, he was in my grading system, playing at a Pro Bowl level, which is why the Miami Dolphins defense was so strong. Once Devon Godchaux went down to a torn biceps injury, and then Rayquan Davis at a Roll Tide role stepped in and really manhandled the 34 base nose tackle position. So there is a similar player in this draft class, maybe not as good as a Rayquan Davis, but for the value standpoint of playing within the NFC West and playing in a similar scheme, I think there's a player I'm going to mention here that makes my all-rookie team. Before we go ahead and do that, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel. Just be sure to turn on and flip on the bell notification so you get notified when I go live or when I upload content. Also, if you notice, and I put this up on my community page so you guys can stay up to date on all things Beast in real time, even in between running podcasts or uploading content. If you head to my community page up on YouTube, I just released a plethora of packages of my BEASTwriter family giveaways. Those have been shipped out, and we are running giveaways again this week. Again, we run giveaways if you're new to subscribing to my channel all day, every week, every Family Friday. So with that being said, this is one for the ages, guys. If we can hit 2,400 subscribers by the end of the week, I'm going to give away this autographed Justin Smith frame. That's right. I am giving away this Justin Smith autograph frame. You guys can see that. It's autographed. Cool story. All right. Look at, he's sacking Drew Brees, who just retired. So I'm going to give this bad boy away for all who subscribe to my channel. And again, this is where social media engagement is encouraged. I want to go ahead and give these fun, cool giveaways. It's authentic, of course, because I work with these players. But yeah, it's just a fun way for me to engage with you guys. So again, be sure to use this platform, like the video, comment, share the video. If we can hit 2,400 subscribers by the end of the week, which is easy, we'll go ahead and release that giveaway. So without further ado, let's get started. And we are just going to go ahead and talk about my all-rookie team. As we pull this up, pull up the tickers. And I see the questions coming in here. There's a lot of questions coming in here. Fortnite's Ultimate Report says, what's up, Ryan and all BEASTwriter family? Which quarterback do you feel will have the long career and with the greatest success of their draft position? Well, that greatly determines on how their careers are going to be prolonged. Obviously, I can't tell the future or predict the 10-year outlook. So that's why I'm running the all-rookie team, because, again, all it takes is one hit for any player to end their career. So that's kind of like a broad, out in the horizon question. That's like a crystal ball times 1,000. I don't know the answer to that, but I will say I do have released my all-rookie team, which I'll go ahead and talk about as it pertains to the rookie season. Peter Moore said, what's up, bro? What is going on, Peter? And welcome to the BEASTwriter family. Dan Angodi says, what's up, Ryan? What's going on, Dan? How are you doing on this happy Monday? Claudia Billick from the BEASTwriter family says, the best channel besides John Jay's. Thank you so much, Claudia. Appreciate the love. JP Edward de Dios, I'm here for the linebackers. Me and Kime have a type. My man JP, Arizona Cardinals fan here in the BEASTwriter family. I see you, bro, and welcome. All right. So Barry Waller says, so what will Rodgers do? From Facebook, Barry, get yourself a YouTube channel and subscribe to your boy, so you'll be in it for this giveaway that we're giving away, this Justin Smith autograph, along with weekly prizes that we give away on our channel. Join us in the BEASTwriter family. All right. Dan Nagati says, nice. Forn's Ultimate Report says, nice photo of Justin Smith. Peter Moa says, nice addition to the man cave. Exactly. And if you guys don't know, I showed this off like 3 years ago, was my man cave is like full on legit man cave. I'm going to go ahead and release some of this stuff to you guys, the Beastwriter family. Doug McLean says, damn, I missed Justin Smith. Arun Singh from Big Boss Man's Pizza says, what's up, brother? What's going on? He says, need your help on what supplements to take. How do I contact you outside of this platform? I will go ahead and try to get in touch with you. I do have an email, beastwriternfl@gmail.com. You can go ahead and send me some emails there, or you can just reach out to me on Twitter. I mean, I'm on Twitter, so you can just slide in my DM. That'll probably be the easiest way to contact me. Everything's on social media, so anything you want to ask, it's on social media. So just ask me on social media. And I will go ahead and get back to you. That's probably the easiest way. Claudia Bucks is even better addition to a lady den. There you go. I see it. Paul Anderson from Facebook. What's your prediction on the Niners this year? Paul, thank you so much. I'm Mahalo for your question. I don't have an answer for you yet. We have to go through training camp. We still have to go through rookie mini camp. We still have to see what kind of injuries take place because a lot of people are going to get injured. As in every year, we saw what happened during COVID year with not a strong and strict workout program or off-season workout program leading up to the NFL season. So you saw these guys getting injured left and right. So again, this is a very similar scenario playing out as COVID opens things back up or open things back up due to people getting their vaccines. However, with that being said, it's still kind of one of those seasons where it's like, how this off-season strength and conditioning program going to take place, that's ultimately going to affect how these players perform in the early weeks on into the season. So I can't really say what the Niners prediction for the season is going to be yet until all these injuries take place. There's people are going to be injured left and right. That's going to have an impact on their record for the regular season. All right, Ponte says, Jalen Hurd going to play? I don't think so, man. I don't think Jalen Hurd's going to play. Prove me wrong, Jalen Hurd. Jason Ellsworth from the Beastwriter family says, hello, Beast. Hope you're having a great day. I am having an excellent day. I am tired, obviously, and I'm always tired. Yesterday, if you guys saw my earlier live stream, or not live stream, excuse me, my earlier podcast on the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm running draft grades of all 32 NFL teams. I take this very seriously. And so that way, when the season ends, you can cross-check what I had to say in real time, which is today, when the season concludes, and be like, hey, Beastwriter knows what he's talking about, or Beastwriter is kind of off on this, or Beastwriter overall did a pretty damn good job, or he didn't do a good job. Either or, that's why I like doing it, because credibility is all about getting it right and predicting the future. But no one is God. All right. Dan Nagari says, what are your thoughts on Watkins? I'll get to these questions. Let me just go ahead and break it down for you guys on my 2021 all-rookie team predictions. And let me just pull up the ticker for you guys. What's up, G's in the house? He says, which divisions are the toughest, NFC West or AFC North? Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question. And I'm going to go ahead and say off the top of my head, I think it's going to be the, gosh, dude, that's really tough. Damn, what's up, G? Why do you got to ask me such tough questions, bro? That's like the toughest question. And you've admitted it was tough. My man, what's up, G? If you don't follow my man, what's up, G? Follow this dude. This dude's good vibes only here in the Beastwriter family. He's on Twitter. He's on YouTube. Great guy, great person. He wants to get, we had a Twitter discussion on McDonald's. Thank you. What's up, G? I appreciate that. But no, getting back to your question, that's a tough one, man. I think that's a coin flip. But if I have to say one, if I have to choose one, I'm going to have to say that, gosh, I hate to say this because the NFC West is so tough. I'm going to have to say the AFC North. Got to say the AFC North. You got the Cleveland Browns. You got the freaking Baltimore Ravens. You just got a whole lot better, which I'm going to talk about under all rookie teams and which rookies are going to make it in my predictions. And then also you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got my draft crush, Najee Harris. So again, I'm going to take the AFC North. All right, let me go ahead and get to those predictions. All right, so here we go. So this is my 2021 PFWA. As you guys know, I have year-end voting rights because I'm a member of the Pro Football Writers Association on the all rookie predictions. I'm very transparent. I release my selections after the picks are made up on Twitter. And here we go today. This is my pre-draft. All right, all rookie predictions. All right, so at quarterback, we have Zach Wilson out of the New York Jets. I think he's going to end up being the top quarterback in this draft class in his rookie season. Now, Trey Lance has the most potential, obviously, but he's going to have to get some snaps under him in order to warrant a draft selection grade for a all rookie selection in my grading system. And ultimately, I think he's going to get some time, but it won't be enough reps in his rookie year. Now, going into year two, different story. So Zach Wilson's definitely the man in-house with the New York Jets. There's no one behind him, no one in front of him. He's going to be the guy. So he's going to have the lion's share of the reps in New York. That's why I'm going to give him the all-rookie selection at quarterback. And why it's not a guy like Trevor Lawrence. Well, Trevor Lawrence does have a strong supporting cast, as the Jets gave Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has Elijah Moore as a slot receiver. He still has Jamison Crowder on the outside. Obviously, you saw what they did, trading up from number 23 to the 14th overall pick for Elijah Vera Tucker, who makes my all-rookie selection. So they get 2 home run hits in the first round, trading up for Elijah Vera Tucker, who makes my all-rookie team along with Zach Wilson. So nice play by the New York Jets. At running back, I just talked about Najee Harris. I think he's going to be the workhorse, durable, throwback, pound and ground, smash mouth, whatever you want to call it. Steelers, throwback, running back. And he's going to really win for the Pittsburgh Steelers down in the trenches between the tackles and really solidify that power-based run scheme that they often like to run. So Najee Harris, you guys know how I feel about Najee Harris. He's my number 4 ranked player on my big board. Slides to the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 24. And ultimately, they got a steal. And he's my draft crush. That's why I have him making the 2021 all-rookie selection. And this is an interesting pick here. Javonte Williams leapfrog Travis Etienne with the Jacksonville Jaguars for the all-rookie selection. And the reason I say this is because Javonte Williams, again, just like Zach Wilson, doesn't have anyone behind him, doesn't have anyone in front of him. Philip Lindsay is off. So you know what you're getting with Javonte Williams, the lion's share of the reps. And again, he's going to show why he's also one of my draft crushes in this year's draft class and why the team, as in the Denver Broncos, traded up from, what was it? I think it was number 40 to number 36 in order to get him, if I'm not mistaken. And they traded with the Atlanta Falcons, and Falcons dropped back to number 40 and got strong safety Richard Grant. Both those players make my all-rookie selection in the 2021 draft. All right, so again, Javonte Williams leapfrog Travis Etienne because Travis Etienne is playing behind James Robinson, who made last year's all-rookie team with the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, now this is where it gets really fun. The pass catchers, right? So my top 2 pass catchers who are going to make the all-rookie selection are ultimately going to be Jamar Chase from the Cincinnati Bengals and Rashad Bateman out of Baltimore Ravens. And people are saying, wow, you're leaving off Devontae Smith. Yes, I'm leaving off Devontae Smith. And the reason I say that is because, one, Jalen Hurts is very inaccurate. Like, he's a career 56% at best completion percentage quarterback, and he's not going to be making a lot of plays. There's going to be a lot of plays left on the field where Devontae Smith is getting open. That's not a knock on Devontae Smith. He's going to be the next Marvin Harrison. I said this since day one back in February. With that being said, I just don't see him, because at the end of the day, you need a strong supporting cast. You need a quarterback who can make all the right throws, all the right reads. Ultimately, although he's going to be the wide receiver 1, I just don't think the targets are going to warrant the production that's going to be asked of him and maintaining a high profile like some of these other wide receivers, like a Jamar Chase, who has rapport with Joe Burrow, right? Or Rashad Bateman, who has MVP candidate Lamar Jackson there. And then they also have J.K. Dobbins, so they have a strong pound and ground running game there for Rashad Bateman to have success running the play action pass, the RPOs, whatever the case may be, in that power-based run scheme. So you see what the Baltimore Ravens are benefiting from it, and where Devontae Smith is not. So I'm going to give Rashad Bateman and Jamar Chase the heads up and the go-ahead for the all-rookie team in 2021. Now, obviously, the obvious choice at tight end is going to be Kyle Pitts. I don't think there's any discussion there. I mean, the next guy next to Kyle Pitts would probably be Pat Freiermuth for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was drafted, I believe, number 52 overall. However, he's not on Kyle Pitts' level. I do like Tommy Tremble from the Carolina Panthers. I thought he was still at number 83. However, with that being said, he's more of an inline blocker. He still needs some work on his pass catching skill set. So again, when you're talking about a pass catching receiver who actually adds dual threat ability as a possible inline blocker, because Kyle Pitts' knock on him is not the best inline blocker. Well, you're not drafting Kyle Pitts to be a blocker anyways. You're drafting him to be the next Travis Kelce, the next George Kittle. And George Kittle was, on a different level because George Kittle can actually block. So with that being said, Kyle Pitts is head and shoulders above any other tight end in this draft class. Goes without saying. That's why the Atlanta Falcons stayed at 4 and selected the transcendent generational talent, Kyle Pitts. All right, now let's move on to the offensive tackle positions. I think Rashawn Slater for the LA Chargers, he's going to be the blindside left tackle. Justin Herbert, that's going to do wonders for Herbert's offense and growth. He's going to get the nod for the offensive tackle position and selection for the all-rookie selection. all rookie selection for the all rookie team. And then on the flip side of that, I like Penei Sewell from the Detroit Lions. I think he was not necessarily a steal, but he kind of dropped because these quarterbacks were falling off the board and pushing these better players down the board, allowing the Detroit Lions to be sitting in their to allow Sewell to be sitting in their laps at the selection that they picked at number 7. So with that being said, they had their choice of pass catchers. They're like, you know what? We're not going to go after Devontae Smith. Let's give Jared Goff a blindside protector, or sorry, a frontside protector, because I have Taylor Decker protecting the blind side. Let's get Penei Sewell, and now we have 2 bookend tackles for the foreseeable future. So I like both those guys. At guard, I just talked about Elijah Vera Tucker earlier. I also believe that the other interior guard would be Wyatt Davis from the Minnesota Vikings. This is where it was kind of getting tricky. I thought about putting in and penciling in Ben Cleveland from Georgia, who plays for the Baltimore Ravens, who they got in the 3rd round, I believe. However, I'm not going to, or 4th round, 3rd or 4th round. I think they got him in the 3rd round. But I'm not going to go ahead and go that pick and select him here. I think Wyatt Davis, what he's going to bring along with Christian Darrisaw, who they drafted number 23 overall, GM Rick Spielman is really going to benefit from having both those goons up front. I think Wyatt Davis was an absolute steal when they were on the clock in the 3rd round. I think he's going to make the all-rookie selection team. All right, now wrapping this up, I was going to go with Landon Dickerson. I think he's the best offensive center in this year's draft class. However, he's coming off a torn ACL. So give me Creed Humphrey from the Kansas City Chiefs, team up next to left guard Joe Thuney. And then you got Orlando Brown Jr., which I talked about their draft grades just yesterday. And you can veach why I believe Brett Veach is just a top 5 GM in my book, along with GM Chris Ballard, GM Eric DeCosta, GM Kevin Colbert, and so forth. So with those guys all in place, Creed Humphrey was an absolute steal for the Kansas City Chiefs at I think he was picked number 62, and they really struck gold there. So again, I like those selections. I think he was drafted 62 or 63. Anyways, let's move on to the defense side of the football. Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins is going to make my pre-draft 2021 all-rookie selection team, along with Carlos Basham. Carlos Basham was another steal by the Buffalo Bills, getting them in the tail end of the 2nd round. I thought he was a steal. And so was Christian Barmore, who the New England Patriots got at number 38. I thought he should have been going in the tail end of the 1st round, providing some instant insurance policy for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They opted to go with Cho Trion at number 31. All right, so I like Christian Barmore here. And then this is the only 4th round pick who makes my selection. A 4th round pick making my all-rookie team, and that's by the name of Bobby Brown III, who was an absolute steal for the LA Rams in the 4th round. I believe he was drafted number 117 or something like that, if I get this correct. I can't believe I'm doing that. But he was drafted in the 4th round, right? So what they got was an insurance policy for Sebastian Joseph Day. He's in the last year of his contract. Obviously, Bobby Brown was sitting there. They thought that he would be a better fit than Davion Nixon out of Iowa. I agreed that was the case as well. And so they went ahead and got Bobby Brown III. I think he's going to make the all-rookie selection team, and he's going to be the best nose tackle in this draft class when it's all said and done. Now with the linebackers, 2nd-level backers, I'm going with Micah Parsons, best middle linebacker in the country with the Dallas Cowboys. Pencil him there. I like Nick Bolton for the Kansas City Chiefs. Talked about him in my earlier podcast yesterday on the Kansas City Chiefs grade, which is why I gave them an A grade. I really like Nick Bolton. He's going to make my all-rookie selection team. And then also an outside linebacker, because they play in a 34 base defense, Jason Owe, who did not record a sack. I was very critical of that selection. I thought it was a reach. However, after watching more game film, after talking to more people inside my NFL circles, I really believe that Jason Owe could possibly lead all rookies in sacks this upcoming year. And what I mean by that, he could have 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 sacks. The guy's he's a workout warrior. That is something that I saw on film. Obviously, I'm in the fitness industry. I saw that. So the explosiveness does come into play. But then again, when you watch the tape, he had 0 sacks last year. And in the common draft era, no player he was the highest rated player in the common draft era in the last 25 years to be drafted that high, not recording a single sack. So with that being said, they're going based on potential, but they see the critical factors. I'm going to have to roll with GM Eric DeCosta, and I'm going to have to agree with him on this selection. So that's why I went ahead and made him my all-rookie pick. All right, now on the back end of the defense, I'm going with Patrick Surtain Jr. You guys know how I feel about him. My number 1 cornerback off the board to the Denver Broncos. They didn't think he was going to be there. They thought that the Carolina Panthers would take him. However, the Carolina Panthers took J.C. Horn out of South Carolina at number 8. Both those guys make my all-rookie team. They're going to do wonders. It's a no-brainer choice there. And then the back end, again, this is probably the easiest choices. Trayvon Moehrig for the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders and Richie Grant from the Atlanta Falcons at number 40. All right, so that pretty much wraps up my all-rookie team. I hope you guys got that in the books and you guys can book it down. Barring injury, of course. We don't know what's going on. And that'll be it. All right. So, N9er Drag says, what up? What is a reach? Was it a reach to grab Kinlaw or is it still hope? No, I said since day one it was a reach. And I said this even before he was drafted by the Niners. I said, watch. Once DeForest Buckner was traded out, watch them reach for Javon Kinlaw. And they did. And I said that was the biggest mistake. And people are like, oh, no, Javon Kinlaw's a freak. He's a freak. He's a freak. I was like, okay, watch. That's why my YouTube and Twitter receipts, check out. Go ahead. It's up there. It's on my YouTube. Everything I had to say in hindsight. And people were like, dang, you were right. And that's why Javon Kinlaw caused me his biggest inspiration, tweeted that to me, and then deleted the tweet. So why did he delete the tweet? Don Lovato says, aloha, BEASTwriter. What's going on, Don? How you doing, my man? Always love talking to you. Gustavo Mejia says, am I crazy to think that Etienne might be the second best running back on his team? No, that is not crazy because, again, James Robinson's a beast. Eric Soley says, beast morning. Hope let's go. Made it another live stream. I'm pumped. Hey, I love these live streams. And again, I know you guys were waiting for these live streams to take place. However, you guys know I cover all 32 NFL teams. I'm doing some back end stuff here, guys, for all of you. We're launching some game grading systems as far as game film breakdowns. I'm talking about legit, the stuff that you see on ESPN, NFL Network type of stuff. And yours truly is going to be breaking down brick by brick certain players and what I see on certain plays. So obviously that's a lot of work. Talking to a lot of software engineers, a lot of people on the back end of this. Working with that. We're also obviously working on some new swag that's going to be launching. So we're running fun giveaways as summer rolls around for the BEASTwriter family. Giving away fun swag. You can also purchase that on the team store, which is YouTube channel, team store, or the inside the family store, I should say. And yeah, a lot of cool things that are going on. So again, I'm going to try to hop on these live streams as much as possible because it gets the most traction and the most engagement. So you guys seem to like it. All right, 49ers Ultimate, what are your thoughts on the NFL having OTA to allow players to work out to prevent the injury bug? What are your thoughts on the NFL having OTAs to allow players to work out to prevent? I guess it's cool. I really don't. I'm kind of like whatever about it. Maybe because I've been in it for so long, but it is what it is. Yeah, not much to say about that. I don't really have an opinion. Ted Cruz says, what's your opinion on Jimmy G first string and Trey second string? I like it. Because if you're GM John Lynch and you're Kyle Shanahan, you need a scapegoat because you don't want to be the person to blame if the ship fails. But you have Jimmy G for one more year. One more year. Say it with me. One more year. One more year. Yeah. Arun Singh is in the house. Arun Singh, what do you say? Are the 49ers serious about signing a veteran wide receiver? Who do you like out there? You know, that seems to be the question with the 49ers ever since the Harbaugh days, too, when they were like a championship, solid caliber team. They're always missing that piece. You know, they went out and signed guys like wide receiver Randy Moss. And Randy Moss was like the signing, like, oh my gosh, we got Randy Moss. That's so crazy. He can still get it done. And he could. And when he was given the opportunities, he shined. Randy Moss was excellent with the Niners. However, seems to be the problem, right? Then they go ahead and Randy Moss is gone. They bring in wide receiver Anquan Bolden, trading him with the Baltimore Ravens, basically fleecing the Baltimore Ravens. Anquan Bolden was an absolute steal, played for the team for the better half of 2013, 2014, so forth. And then was really mentoring the younger guys as he in the twilight of his career, so to speak. So Anquan Bolden was another veteran that they got. They seem to have to find a veteran wide receiver because they don't have that veteran in-house. Interesting to point out that here we are again under a new regime, but with the same kind of talent. I would say Harbaugh's teams were a little bit more consistent, but Shanahan's teams were, it's a championship caliber team when you look at it on paper. Like, how can you say they're not going to at least win 10 games this year or 11 games this year? They're definitely 11 team win if they stay healthy. 11-win team, I should say. Gustavo Mejia says, Wilson at quarterback. Yes. Doug McLean says, what's your take? Think Bosa can stay healthy or trade when re-sign Lance? Nope. Bosa's going to be in line for Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Said it since day one. People were like, oh, what do you know? That's crazy talk. We should trade Bosa for Deshaun Watson. I was like, nah, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Nick Bosa is going to be a monster. Watch. Gustavo Mejia says Terrace Marshall might have a chance to make it. Yes, he definitely has a chance to make it. And let me go ahead and talk about Gustavo. I'm happy you mentioned this because let's talk about my draft day steals, right? So that's the second half of this. Second round draft day steals, right? You got second round pick number 38, Christian Barmore. He was a draft day steal in the second round. And then we got Nick Bolton, the middle linebacker at number 58 for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a draft day steal as well. I talked about him in an earlier podcast yesterday. Go back and watch my podcast, guys. I'm telling you, I do this for you guys. I put it up on the community page. If you guys like it, it got 99% upvoted likes. So 99% of you guys like the content. And even if it's not the 49ers, you guys still love it because you guys like learning, which is good. Who doesn't like to learn? My second round pick, here you go, my man. Number 59, wide receiver Terrace Marshall. He was my 25th ranked player on my big board. So him dropping all the way to 59 was an absolute steal for the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, if you watch my podcast on them, as I talk about all 32 NFL teams and their draft grades, I broke down the NFC South. The Carolina Panthers ended up with a B by the BEASTwriter system grade. Finishing up, we have in the second round, 63, Creed Humphrey. Here we go. Creed Humphrey was a draft day steal in the second round, in the tail end of the second round. Can't believe he fell that far, but he did. And ultimately, the Kansas City Chiefs get richer. Again, I did this podcast yesterday on the Kansas City Chiefs along with Nick Bolton. Go ahead and watch that. I dissect every single pick and why it was good, why it was bad, why it made sense, why it didn't make sense, the instant gratification versus long-term gains, and how that impacts within the division. All right. Third round pick, I thought tight end Tommy Tremble was another one. Tommy Tremble, number 83 out of the Carolina Panthers, talked about it. He might be the best inline blocker in this year's draft class. In fact, he might be the best inline blocker, or I would say top 10 inline blocker in the entire NFL coming into the NFL. So the guy's an H-back. You can use him in a variety of different ways. I really liked him. Here's a steal that no one's talking about. And I wanted them to go ahead and get Michael Carter. They didn't. But I was happy with Trey Sermon. I think in the third round, number 88, people say that, oh, Trey Sermon doesn't have the speed. Look at those guys don't know sports. They probably never played competitive sports. This Trey Sermon, do not look at his 40-yard dash time and say this guy does not have speed. I'm just putting it right now. He's perfect for the one-cut scheme and that stretches defenses horizontally. Trey Sermon is a perfect, ideal one-cut back. There's a reason why they traded 2 fourth-round picks back up into tail end of the third round at number 88 to go ahead and get Trey Sermon. I really like Trey Sermon. I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard back when it's all said and done. He should get the lion's share of the reps because why would you trade up for a guy in the third round not to use him as one? And so when you do that, the value that you're getting with Trey Sermon is the 49er faithful are really going to like Trey Sermon. Mark it down. BEASTwriter approved the stamp of approval of a seal. Now, here's the thing, the Ohio State running backs don't have a good track record. We all remember what happened back in 2014 when they drafted Carlos Hyde at number 57 overall from the Ohio State University. He had the potential, but ultimately never lived up to the hype. All right. With Trey Sermon, he's going to live up to the hype. I'm just saying, Trey Sermon, I like Trey Sermon. Book it. Again, I'm not afraid to put my analysis here and credibility on the line, just like with Trey Lance. I'm not afraid to do it. I don't care what anyone else says. That's why you guys follow me here in the BEASTwriter family. You guys want to know my take? Trey Sermon's the real deal. Mark it down. All right, in the third round, just 6 picks later, I really like the selection of Ben Cleveland out of the Baltimore Ravens. I think he's going to be a nice plug-and-play along the left side at left guard. Look for him to make a play there. And again, Ben Cleveland was an absolute steal at number 94. In fact, I don't believe the Baltimore Ravens what I was told, I don't think they actually thought he would be there at number 94. And when he was sitting there at number 94, they were just kind of like, well, that's kind of crazy. Like, how is he still on the board? Again, this is why GM Eric DeCosta is a top 5 GM in my book. He always goes best player available, learning from Ozzie Newsome. Talked about this with my man Jim Trotter on earlier podcasts here in the BEASTwriter family when he was on the show. Again, Baltimore Ravens, just like the Kansas City Chiefs, the rich get richer. They capitalize on other stupid mistakes, and that's why they're the best. All right. I also like the pick of Ronnie Perkins. I keep talking about Ronnie Perkins in the live stream as the draft was unfolding. He was still sitting there in the second round. I was like, hey, Ronnie Perkins should come off the board here. Nope. Third round. Ronnie Perkins should come off the board here. Nope. And then finally, the New England Patriots benefit, just like they did with Christian Barmore. They get Roll Tide, roll. Christian Barmore now team with Oklahoma. Ronnie Perkins, who's best suited for a 3-4 outside linebacker scheme. All right. Just 2 picks later, Quinn Miners. Same thing with Perkins. I said about Quinn Miners. He's still sitting on the board. Denver Broncos. That's why they got an A grade in my grading system. You can go ahead and see that podcast. That was my very first podcast on breaking down all 32 NFL teams and their grades. Quinn Miners, again, was one of the reasons why they got an A grade, because they went BPA. And wrapping it up, again, the guy who made my all rookie selection was 4th round pick number 117, Bobby Brown III, a pick acquired from the San Francisco 49ers when they moved up for Trey Sermon. They ended up getting this pick, number 117. And I'm telling you, don't sleep on Bobby Brown III. Now, he's going to be playing behind Sebastian Joseph Day, but Sebastian Joseph Day is the last year of his contract. So that's why they got Bobby Brown III out of Texas A&M. All right, Fortnite's Ultramar says, BEASTwriter better than Grant after Grant said a dumb statement that Sermon is better than Najee. No, Sermon is not better than Najee Harris. I'm going to have to disagree with that. And NFL people I spoke to, that's not even a question. In fact, if there's any debate, it would be between Javonte Williams and Najee Harris, not Trey Sermon and Najee Harris. But hey, time will tell. Time will tell. Don Lovato says, will the Farmers start Aaron Banks, and are you going to get him in shape? I can get him in shape. Absolutely. And all joking aside, yes, I can get him in shape. And football shape too, because we got to talk about functional strength. What is he going to be asked to be doing? Let's try to make those muscle fibers work to his advantage and make the muscle-mind connection work to his advantage, to where when he's in the weight room and when he's on the field, he can kind of use both and kind of tailor between the two so that he's not putting himself in a compromised position. I spoke with a strength and conditioning coach just yesterday, an NFL strength and conditioning coach yesterday, and he told me that he's like, you know what, we were talking for about 45, it was a good hour actually, 45 minutes to an hour on Mother's Day, and I was talking to him. He's like, dude, like, when's your next show? Because I posted on Twitter, I'm competing and stuff, and we talked about that. And then he's like, you know what, Ryan? He's like, have you ever thought about being a strength and conditioning coach? He's like, we talked about this already. And I was like, dude, I don't have time for this crap. And then I was like, okay, well, I need to get your thoughts on some stuff. So we were talking, bouncing back ideas, and obviously bodybuilding and football strength training is 2 totally separate identities, right? They're 2 totally separate beasts, but they're one of the same because functional strength comes into play. So when you're working with a guy like Aaron Banks, the one thing I want to work with him is his movement skills, right? Like his core basically, which is his stomach area, right? How strong is his core? So we do some stabilization, endurance training method of training. We can kind of work on that, work on his balance. So when he does get off balance, he has a nice foundational base. So when he sets in his pass sets, where it's an angle set, whether it's a jump set, you can really focus on how he wants to leverage that block. And then from there, it's all about, having a strong base. Are you a waist bender or are you a knee bender, right? Do you have the hips? People talk about oily hips when it comes to like the second level backers. Can they flip their hips, defensive backs? Can they turn with the receiver without losing their cadence and their back pedal? These are some scouting terms that you use. When it comes to offensive linemen, are they fluid? Can they work down the line? Can they pull? Can they trap? Can they reach block? Can they combo block? Are they scheme dependent? Based on leveraging their block, how well do they hold their base at the point of attack? These are things that you need to work with them. And it all depends. People talk about arm length, and then you take it a step further, peeling back another layer of the onion to really get to the core. Okay, this guy has 32-inch arms, or this guy has 31 3/4 arms. So is he really a offensive tackle? Because literally the benchmark for it is at least 33-inch arms. You need at least 33-inch arms. That's usually the barometer or the gauge, you would say, for offensive tackle. So if he's not able to solidify or use his arms properly and win early in the down, well, now you have to kick him back inside the guard, and then now you have to train him a little bit different than you would as if you were training an offensive tackle playing the right side, or whether it's the weak side or the blind side. So there's a lot of different things. I love talking football and fitness. See how that goes? Holla at your boy. All right, Peter Moore says, John Jay, you don't have to bash on Grant. You make a bunch of dumb statements also. We have John Jay in here. John Jay, how are you doing today, man?
What's up, man?
What's going on with you, bro?
Oh, what's up with your buddy Peter Moa? Yo, dude, I want you to come on, have a conversation with me. That was disrespectful, man.
What do you think? What did he say about what did Grant say?
Okay, forget about Grant. Dude's an idiot. I'm sorry, but Peter Moa, come on here. You have something negative to say it to my face. I'm not playing no more. I'm sorry, Ryan, but
why you getting? Why do you get it? I mean, people say this all the time, bro. Not to me, but I mean, if it happens, you just got yeah. Don't be. I mean, you have nothing to be sorry about. But what did Grant? This is social media. You know what I mean? Like good vibes only. So that yeah. What did Grant say? Let's talk about that because you have a statement, or you made a statement that Grant said that Trey Sermon was better than Najee Harris. But to be honest with you, there's people that agree with you, in regards to whether that's a true statement. Is Trey Sermon better than Najee Harris? No, he's not. He's not. What made Grant think that? Because I do want to hear what Grant had to say about that. That is interesting take.
Well, you know what, man? I'm sorry, I lost my temper, but
no, it's good. So what did Grant say? What did Grant say?
Okay, so I watch Grant Cohen. Peter Moa, I'm addressing you. You can come on, we can have a conversation. Okay? I'm not shying away. You started this thing, so I'm going to tell you. I watch Grant. He has his opinions. He's entitled to his own opinions. If he says, because what he thinks, what he sees, Trey Sermon is better than Najee Harris, that's his opinion. Yeah. That's his opinion. But once you start writing in somebody's chat on the BEASTwriter and then start acting that I'm disrespectful, first of all, have you watched my content? I let people call in. People say a lot of negative things about me. It doesn't really affect me. But for some reason, I say something about Grant and you take it way too personal, saying that I'm attacking the dude. I don't know what's wrong with this dude. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he lives. And if I pissed him off because I attacked someone he likes, he has to understand I have no disrespect for you, sir. But once you start saying John Jay, this and that, this and that, this and that, why are you saying that to me? If you don't like my opinion, you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say nothing. What? But for some reason, you kept on the chat. You kept going. Okay? I'm not saying you're a bully, but that's bully behavior. And I can care less. But at the end of the day, man, I run my channel my way. If you don't like it, Peter, if you don't like those people who don't like my channel, that's okay because Grant can make you feel that way. BEASTwriter, I hope I'm not saying nothing that's not true. I watch your stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. I respect what you say. There are things I disagree with you. There's things I disagree with you. But I don't say Ryan Sakamoto is, a piece of what. I would never say that. I respect you, man. You have helped me grow my channel. Mm-hmm. A lot of your subscribers have subscribed to my channel, and I make sure that I give the best information that I can. Mm-hmm. For some reason, Peter Moa, I'll wait here. If you want to have we can have a dialect, a conversation. But I do get pushed to a limit, and I am old school. I'm 31, but I'm old school minded. Mm-hmm. If you don't like what I like to say, don't say something disrespectful towards me. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what I did to you. I asked Beast a question to see if he agreed with Grant. I'm not saying that, Grant is a piece of garbage. I'm not going to say but I'm going to use the word garbage. I've never said that. You can ask all the people who are on Grant's show who come on my show, and they tell me they like Grant, but they disagree with them. And I've told one of his callers who called in on Saturday, he really likes Grant, and I welcomed him. We had a dialect. We disagreed on a lot of points, but he's a good person, and that's what I do in my channel. So I'm not sure what pissed you off, but right now I'm not going to go 20 minutes typing to get a point. I do it face to face, and I'm sorry, Ryan, that I'm taking this tone. I'm a very laid back dude, but come on. Hey, come on.
Nah, I mean, look, this is as much as we all try to like have a healthy discussion about it, all I gotta say is like, dude, you should see what I get. Like, you have to have thick skin. Like, I'm not saying you don't have thick skin. I'm not saying that you weren't disrespected. I will say this stuff happens all the time. Like, I get like literally, I'll get like 35 people just saying racist. Well, whatever the case may be. You just gotta have thick skin, whatever it is. Because I mean, the bigger you grow your channel, the more people are going to have varying opinions, right? So it's just like Peter has a strong opinion, and I don't think he meant intentionally to personally attack you. I don't think Peter would do that. So in Peter's defense, I don't think he's going to be like that. I don't think that's Peter's that was his intention. It was just more like in a sense of like how do I say this? Like sometimes when we type things or when we say things through text message or whatever, like on the chat, like it gets perceived differently than like you said face to face, right? So maybe if you talk to him face to face, hey, I didn't appreciate that. What did you mean by that? You know what I mean? Like, what did you mean by that? Then maybe, you guys can have like some kind of like whatever, like topic of discussion about how you guys want to go about moving forward. Or if you don't, you can just say, you know what, forget it, dude. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm done with it. Either way, I that's why I say it's like, you always got to take things in perspective, right? So like for me, like this is like one of the things that I learned, right? Like being in the NFL media, it's really tough to fight the fine line. Like I always learned that the hard way. So like fighting the fine line is like knowing when to pick and choose your battles, right? So like this is honestly like a battle. Like I don't think like you should be entertaining because one, I honestly don't think Peter meant anything by it. I just think like, sometimes we internally get too caught up on our emotions. Not saying you shouldn't be emotional about it, but at the end of the day, it's almost like you got to see both sides of it. And if the roles were reversed and you actually said, like, if I said, oh, first Ultimate Report, you're dumb for saying that. Would you think that I was actually calling you dumb or just the opinion of what you said was dumb? See, there's a difference there. Because then there's a difference between personal. Like when Eric Armstead came at me on Twitter, that was very personal. And he targeted a specific demographic, which is Asian Americans. That's already been talked about, right? So like we already know where that was going, right? Because when he called me short man complex, ego live, you're targeting a special, and then, trust me, the Asian community was all over it. So that's personal. What Peter did, I don't think was personal, to be honest with you. I just think it was an opinion, and that just kind of went via text or through the chat. But here in the BEASTwriter family, I think everyone here is respectful of everyone's opinion at the end of the day. And if they're not, they won't be here. But honestly, I don't think Peter meant it in that way. And again, like here in the BEASTwriter family, it's all about good vibes only. So that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, let's talk about what you wanted to talk about. Let's talk about Trey Sermon and Najee Harris. Let's get back on track. Mm-hmm. What exactly is going on with why Grant said Trey Sermon is better? Because Trey Sermon is not better. And again, when you would take into account, and again, I talked to a lot of, one, I freaking studied the game. But Grant's entitled to his own opinion. Hey, Trey Sermon could be better than Najee. I don't know. Grant could be right. Grant could be right, 100% right. In my opinion, and what I'm hearing and what I've been told and what I'm seeing, it's not even a question. If there's any discrepancy about who the best running back in this draft class is, it's going to be between Najee Harris, and if there's a wild card, it's going to be Javonte Williams. If you're leaving out Travis Etienne out of the picture, Trey Sermon would definitely be in the discussion, but he wouldn't be the forefront of that discussion. So that's all I got to say about that. But what else is on your mind, dude?
Well, besides, that, frustrating, rant, I'm going to say to Peter, I don't know who you are, but I have no disrespect to you. I'm not attacking you. I hope you're not continuing writing on the chat about me. I'm going to squash it right there. But if I see anything more as I watch, I'm going to call you out and I'm going to label you to it. Now, to be a little bit more civil,
Mm-hmm.
to be more civil,
mm-hmm.
I have a little insight myself. I'm not you. I'm not Grant. I'm not in KTVU. That's the flagship station and all the stations here in San Francisco who have done it for 20, 30 years. But I do have insight in a locker room, and you can tell when players are good and when players are bad. My opinions are not from other channels that I copy and etc. My opinions is from the experience that I know. And I can say for a fact, Najee Harris is the best running back prospect from college. Will he be, like everyone's saying, like the next great running back, like, Adrian Peterson and all those other players before that? Well, it is what it is, but we don't know. So when Grant says, because of how he sees Trey Sermon, how he played in Ohio State, and what he saw, what he's able to do that Najee Harris cannot, and then you're basing that he's the best running back, that's the thing that it's a little bit confusing. I'm not saying that he is a horrible, person, Grant. I'm not saying that. I've said it on my channel, and it looks like Peter has never been on my channel, but I've told people who like him, I don't like.
Let's not get on Peter. Let's let's get back on track, dude, because I think we're kind of going off topic here. Yeah. I know you're frustrated, but let's try to stay on track. Here in the BEASTwriter family, we're all about good vibes only. This is what I don't want. I don't want beef. I don't want drama.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I'll nip it in the butt. So let's stay on track. Let's stay on track.
Like I said, I'm not typically a person like this. So you're right. John Jay.
Yeah, let's talk football. Hey,
back to the football. Bro. Back to the football, of course. At the end of the day, you're not 100% right. I'm not 100% right. No one's 100% right. It's a wait and see. Quarterbacks, running backs, offensive line, receivers, tight ends, and defensive players. Right. You wait and see what happens. So
but you have to make predictions. But you have to make predictions. Again, I told you this, right? Like if someone's going to be able to follow you, what gives them the incentive to follow you? Like what competitive advantage? And this is something that you can take or not take. This is just people ask me, how did I got into NFL media? I say, you know what? How I did it, I can't speak for anyone else. I can only speak for myself. Is spot on predictions, analysis, and insights. Obviously, being good, working with the players, and growing from there. Right, knowing football. Obviously, fitness helps. Talking to coaches, building my network that way, branching out when these guys go to other teams, knowing their families. Obviously, I was a lot of these guys' insurance agents for car, home insurance. So before even covering the NFL. So with that being said, you have to have trust. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting it right. We no one is 100% right. But if you are like 65% right, as opposed to someone who's 85% right, there's a difference there, right? So it's just like at the end of the day, it's just not being 100% right because no one is. But again, be as accurate as possible with your information, with your analysis, and you don't have to. I feel like you don't have to, like, not talking about you, but anyone who's trying to break into NFL media, you don't have to actually enforce what you know or what you don't know. It'll just come out through your work. And that's why when I post my YouTube and Twitter receipts, that's credible, right? Like all you do is post one time, boom. When it pops up again, boom, just retweet it and say YouTube receipt, boom. People will catch on like that. You don't have to go on and be like this on the same topic, right? So it's just like, even though you say, oh, I know players, I know football, I know this, your work will do the talking for you. You see what I'm saying? So let your work be your noise. You see what I'm saying? Now, if someone's coming at you sideways and then personally attacking you, then that's a different story, right? And then be like, oh, what do you know, bro? Like, whatever. Like, well, this is what I do know, right? Then you put it out and you spit your analytical game and spit back with facts in a professional manner, right? You always want to do it in a professional manner. That's why if you look at my comments, when other teams' fan bases, they don't know anything about the good vibes only here in the BEASTwriter family, they try to freaking come at me sideways. Oh, what do you know about fitness? Like, oh, what do I know? Why don't you go npc.com and then you'll know. That's facts. That's not being cocky. It's not being whatever. It's facts. Go to npc.com. Go to Evogen. I'm sponsored by Evogen. Just go down the website. I'm there. So when they come at you, just be sure to come back with factual information so that you're not tooting your own horn in a sense, but then again, you're defending yourself in a way to where you're letting your work be your noise, right? Because if you come out and say, well, I know this, so I know people, I'm not as high as you, but I know people, then people are going to look at that and be like, well, what really do you know? You know what I'm saying? So take it for what it's worth. I don't know. You can buy into it, not buy into it, but at the end of the day, it's just like your work will do the talking for you. If you keep grinding, bro, that's all you really need, bro. Just keep freaking grinding, dude. Put on the blinders and just freaking go forward, dude. Don't half butt anything. Don't half ass anything. Just go all in, dude. Unleash your freaking inner beast and let's be done with it, dude. And it's like, you know what? Whatever negative situation that you're in, you know, use that for a positive outcome, right? Turn a negative into a positive. Whether that's someone hating on you, whether that's someone that's trying to challenge your credibility, or it's someone that, you know, maybe disrespected you or backstabbed you, whatever the case may be, right? Turn any negative situation into a positive. Don't channel that negative energy and feed into that fire, right? The last thing you want to do is to give that person or give those people a voice, right? And so, and this is going off topic. It's not talking about Peter or anything else, because again, I don't think Peter meant to do that. But I'm just saying in general, moving forward, right? So you just really got to really see things for what they're worth, and then see the perspective in both sides of the picture. So that's my advice to you: is really don't delve into like what I know, what you know. At the end of the day, your work will do the talking for you. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yeah, like I don't disagree with you. I'm not saying, you know, this and that, but my mentality is different than yours and anybody else. If you have something to say to me, say it to my face. Very simple. If you don't want to do that, it is what it is. Done with that. I'm done with that. But the continuation, all you really have to do, if you agree on a different point than me, just say, I agree to disagree. But if you continue, it's a different story. Just like racist stuff on my channel. Stuff on my channel.
Do you know how much?
Stop that.
Do you know how many followers I have? I have like 250,000 followers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know, YouTube, everything combined. It's literally 250,000 followers. Do you know how much hate mail I get in the DMs? Trolls, people with no actual picture. You know, if I took time to just every single day just to respond to these people, emails, DMs, you know, Instagram, it's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it. So it's just like, I think you're channeling your energy in the wrong places. You should channel this energy. You're going to be disrespected. Hey, I'm telling you straight up, you're going to be disrespected. It comes with the territory of being a person of interest, someone in the NFL media, someone who is considered an influencer. And again, the best way to kind of channel that is to turn it toward a positive outcome, if that makes sense. And again, the last thing I want you to do is feed fuel to the fire, because that's what you're continuing doing. And I can tell you're upset, which is fine, because, you know, everyone gets emotional, but you have to kind of decipher between picking your battles, what's worth it and what is not worth it. Does that make sense?
Yep. But also, I have OCD.
I do
dyslexic. Too. You know, I'm being personal. I'm telling these people who I am. I'm dyslexic. I have OCD. You know, I have anger issues, but it's who I am, and I accept that. I've learned as I've gotten older, and it's hard for me. So when a person says something, and I try to be respectful, that OCD, all of the stuff that I've been through, and I don't want to talk about my stuff, but I will say this. This is a dirty business. It's a tough business, and I know what I signed up for. I have thick skin. I do. But unfortunately, people hide behind the computer. It is what it is. To scratch that and move it away. I want to talk football with the BEASTwriter. I want to talk football with everyone.
Yeah, you could.
I want to get to know people, because at the end of the day, your channel is the reason why not just me, but other people want to do what you're doing. So I give you all the respect, and all the people who want to do what you're doing. And they tell me the same thing. John Jay, you don't have the subscribers like BEASTwriter, but at the end of the day, we want to do what you're doing, but I don't have thick skin. And I tell them, work hard, grind, and you will get where you want to go. And the haters are going to hate. And I love that. Mm-hmm. I love that. So that's all I have to say for right now, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully I didn't, make anyone's day a little bit, bad. And of course, Brian, again, I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
I should never act that way. See?
No, you're good. Yeah. You're good, dude. You're good. All right, man. See you later. All right. So, anyways, thank you, Tony Nakatani. We have Tony Nakatani in the house.
How you doing, Beast? Aloha. Happy Monday.
Oh my goodness. This is what I don't want. I don't like this. This is not the aloha vibes. This is not the aloha spirit. This is not what we're about. And this is something that's, I know I'm going to stand up for Peter. I'm going to stand up for Grant. Grant, no one was here to stand up for Grant, and no one was here to stand up for Peter because he's not on this thing. But then John Jay was kind of like, so it's just kind of like, how can I, like, how do I pull this and kind of just, it's like sifting through the
at the end of the day, trolls are going to troll because something, I don't know, a little demented in people's minds just gets a little bit out of needling somebody, and people get emotional about things, and that's being human, and all I gotta say is just gotta let it flow off your back like water. You gotta be very zen about these sorts of things. Not everyone's gonna like you, not everyone's gonna hate you, the more opinions you take, the more you open yourself up for criticism, and you just gotta go along with that. But you know what, and that's all part of the game. So John, big hugs, sir. Big hugs. It's like just water off a duck's back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So, what's on your mind, dude? What time is it over? It's like what? What time is it over there?
Oh, it's 9:16. I decided to steal away a little bit of time from work because it's Monday. We got a bit of the Monday blues in my workspace. But I actually, I see what's going on the bottom scroller there, and I called in a while ago before the draft to talk about Bobby Brown III.
You did.
I really wanted to hear your take on Bobby Brown III because I tell you, So here's my thing with that. So I did way too many PFF mock drafts before the draft, and then discovered through that process Bobby Brown III, and I went and watched a bunch of YouTube clips on that guy, and then I saw his the Texas A&M media day that he gave, and was blown away by his demeanor and his intellect especially, and I was like, this guy is special, and I wanted to get someone who's actually who understands what it takes physically to succeed at nose tackle in the NFL, and that's why I called in earlier about that. So I kind of wanted to get, now that you've had a chance to take a look, what do you think about Bobby Brown III?
I love him, and again, for anyone who doesn't know, he wasn't on my radar until Anthony Nagatani brought him up. So Anthony, you were like my regional scout in the Aloha State. No, truthfully, because I was like, as I was running my grades, I was formulating my mock drafts. I was like, okay, well, I was just hitting day 3, and I was like, could this guy slide to day 3? And he was a borderline guy for me. I thought that would end up being on day 3 based on I was doing my mocks and stuff. Obviously, it turned out he was a day 3 pick. With that being said, I like him. I think he's a steal of the 4th round. I think he's going to be this year's Rayquan Davis, which not on that level. Like, he's not going to be as good as Rayquan Davis, because Rayquan Davis in my grading system was graded out a Pro Bowl player.
Does Rayquan Davis play next to Aaron Donald?
Which makes it even more important that more impressive that Rayquan Davis was actually getting it done. But no, to get to your point, no, he's going to have a better supporting cast on the defensive line. Yeah, and when you have Aaron Donald, who basically is playing the 3-4 defensive end position, but he can moving around, and then you have Bobby Brown playing the 0 or 3 technique. I mean, you can't double team everyone on the interior. Obviously, someone's going to be matched up 1-to-1. Now, Bobby Brown is not a pass rush specialist, but he can get home. I mean, he's very quick on his feet for a guy his size. Yeah. And I hate using that term for a guy his size, because I feel like when we do that, we're giving him a pass because he's too fat or he's too big. So let's just say for a guy, he's quick on his feet.
For a nose tackle.
For a nose tackle, he's very light on his feet. He can scrape it down the line of scrimmage how he sees fit. He's very strong at the point of attack. He leverages his blocks extremely well, stacking and shedding. He knows where his second level linebackers are going to hit that A, B, or B gap, depending on, the pre-snap recognition. When they're reading their keys, obviously they have to read their keys along the offensive line. I talked about this with Dylan, and that's why we can talk on this level. Like this type of discussion, this is what I talk to with NFL players behind closed doors. Because if I went on an interview and be like, so what do you think about this scrape exchange on this play? And then no one's going to piggyback that because they don't know, like other reporters are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
So that's why behind closed doors or like off the record, well, it's on the record, but like, that's why I get my pieces of like, hey bro, like, let's go ahead and talk about this specific play. I'm running my grading system right now. Was this supposed to be? And they'll be like, yes, no. Obviously they can't give you the exact details because then you'll be basically scouting for like
right. Of course.
Like I remember Eli Harold was like, dude, are you like scouting us for the other team? I was like, no, dude. He's like, dude, how do you know so much? I was like, dude, I do game grades. And then once I explained to these players, they're like, wow, you actually know what we're doing here. Like, yeah, no crap, dude. And so that's why some of the players were really like, dude, you can't do fluff with BEASTwriter because he's going to call us out on it.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I talked to Jimmy Ward, Jaquoski Tart, and so forth, especially on the back end and stuff, you really have to know the ins and outs and what's going on that play because they'll feed you stuff that to throw you off, right? Mm-hmm. So what I really like for Bobby Brown again, it's a guy who's strong as an ox at the point of attack. He's going to be on the all rookie team. I have him on my all rookie team. Yeah. And again, thank you to you for putting him on my radar. You're the one that freaking put him on my radar,
dude. Well, I'm glad to I'm glad to help. I'm glad to be on your radar. Let's put it that way. So there's two things that get to me about Bobby Brown III. In the big macro. Number one, the Rams used a 4th round draft pick that they acquired by trading with the 49ers to get Bobby Brown III. So like that kind of eats at me a little bit. Yes. The other thing, and this is a question, how do you think somebody like Aaron Banks, because he's going to be playing along the offensive
I don't like that.
Do you think he could take care of a guy like Bobby Brown III?
Heck no. What the heck?
All right. So I
don't think Aaron Banks can take care of me.
Oh, damn, dude. Well, you're quick, man. You're quick. So,
Bro, do you know how many reps of 225 that dude put up?
No, tell us.
I don't know. We're gonna find out right now. Let's see. Yeah. I guarantee it's not okay. So how much does he weigh? Let's pull him up. Okay. All right. So we're gonna pull up Aaron Banks, and I'm not saying he's not gonna be good. All right. So I want people to think like, oh, BEASTwriter says Aaron Banks is not gonna be good. This is all just for fun. Okay, guys, calm down. Yeah. But Aaron Banks, I wasn't high on him when they drafted him, dropping back 5 spots. He's 6'5", 325 pounds. He has the arm length at 33 1/4. So that's pretty dang good. But let's go ahead and see. Okay, so he's 6'5", 325. Okay, so in my estimation, if you're 325 pounds and you're not even lifting your own body weight, right, 100 pounds less than your body weight, you should be putting up at least 40 reps.
Right.
Easily.
You would think so.
Dude, if I can put up at 148 pounds, 22 reps of 225.
Yeah.
I'm pushing, and people say, well, it's because you have short arms. No, let's do the math, dude. Okay, even if that was the case, I'm still lifting, almost double my body weight on each rep.
So let me, relativity is a thing, right? So body mass
is a thing. Yes, correct.
It is. Do you have a metric for that? Like as you're analyzing people's pro days and things like relative to their like their overall like percentage of body mass lifted, and then have grade that. So you grade that out too. That's I
have my own algorithm for that. Yeah, how they have that Spark system. I have my own system. And it's pretty freaking spot on, dude. I mean, let's be honest. I'm friends with a lot of the NFL strength and conditioning coaches. Yeah. A lot of not just pro but college too, who should be pros. Keep in touch with a lot of them. I mean, you can talk to. I mean, off the top of my head, there's 5 strength and conditioning coaches on other NFL teams that are like my boys. Like I can call them up right now. We talk football. I just talked to one last night for 45 minutes to an hour. They're like, dude, like. They even asked me, like, how do you know? Because we knew, but we didn't know that this guy was going to go, like, Christian Darrisaw going to the Minnesota Vikings. How did you know? Like, you kind of find different different things based on their numbers. Like if a guy is a certain weight, certain height, these critical factors, but then how does that each team values certain measurables differently? So when people talk about the 40-yard dash, I can tell you right now, some teams do not value the 40-yard dash.
Right.
They value more of a 10-yard split, or they value the 20-yard short shuttle.
Right. Yeah. Because
this is some inside information that I'm giving. I'm not going to say which teams.
Of course.
But
it makes sense for NFL football too, because like it's not like look at DK Metcalf this weekend, right? I mean, he didn't have the greatest showing at that track event, but considering the fact the dude is how big he is, the time he put up, I thought was pretty darn impressive, all things considered. So it's not they're not running track, is all I'm saying. So
no, it's Tony Nagatani. Did you get this yet? Hopefully this doesn't come but I really like how Bobby and now he's on our rival team. Oh, this is for you.
We were talking in the chat. Yeah, Niners all day, and I were chatting in the chat box. Yeah.
How do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this whole chat feature thing, live stream?
Okay, so live streaming is where it's at. So
I know.
Because it allows people feel more connected to their content creators when they can have a conversation with them and they feel like they're a part of the action. It makes people feel more plugged in and thus more part of the process, and gives people incentive to also stay on the channels for longer and have fun conversations. And this is like the best kind of social media too, because it is media. We are being ultimately social, and also like you see my face. And just like John Jay was talking about, like, he's putting his opinions out there and putting himself on the line. And so like there are people with the little avatars out there that aren't really them, who are like trolling, and they're getting a little rush out of the fact they're just needling at people, but they're sitting behind and playing pretend behind a mask almost. Whereas this, we're actually having a good conversation talking about, things that, like I'm curious about. And so overall, it's best doing video chats like this. It can be a little bit confusing sometimes. In this case, having conversations with folks in the chat box. But I watch Rombo Sports, and have conversations all the time with folks like Arun Singh, for instance, who likes to needle me a little bit whenever I go on Rombo's channel a little bit. Anyway, it's funny. Anyway, regardless, it's all good stuff, and it's all welcome, because when you have an opinion about something or have a joke about something or whatever, you got to be willing to expect it. Anyway, I think video chatting is the future. It's the next gen journalism.
I just need to make money off of it, because I was looking at my analytics, and I do need to talk about all 32 NFL teams. The thing is like here's the fine line of it, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone knows by now. If you don't know, I'm pretty well versed in all 32 NFL teams.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, when I do these premiere videos, because I'm doing premiere videos, that actually what they are is they're pre-recorded, and then we watch it together live, so I can do a chat. The thing about that is, obviously, as I do that, it benefits in one of two ways. One, it gets us followers from other different teams. So more eyes on it. But then the views aren't as high because of the fact that it's not 49ers related or Steelers related or Seahawks related. Or Panthers related. Those are pretty much the hard hitting teams right now.
Totally.
So with that being said, it's almost like it's like, how do I bridge that gap to where I can grow my channel, getting good vibes only here in the BEASTwriter fan, because I want all 32 fan bases. I just don't want to talk about the Niners. I'm going to be talking about all 32 teams, because again, you guys saw what happened on draft. You can follow who knows football and who doesn't. And who knows just the Niners as opposed to who doesn't, because people are left scrambling. Did you see me with some paper? No, I was just doing this I was doing this blind, bro. Like, hey, this 100%. Is what I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, legit. So it's just like that type of curated engagement and valuation. I feel like, the competitive advantage of this, there's no one out there that can duplicate this. Because it's all the BEASTwriter family knowledge, and it's not just me. Obviously, it's you guys too. And that's the thing. All 32, the ultimate competitive advantage is the BEASTwriter family in itself. All 32 fan bases lockstep into one.
So here's my advice to you on that front in terms of audience acquisition. And it's collaborate specifically with the podcast, not necessarily the YouTube podcasters, right?
Okay.
But because for instance, and I'll give a shout out right now. So Locked On Sports. They do all the teams for all the sports and everything, and every team has its own podcaster. And I think the thing you're going to find is the fans who listen to those kinds of daily audio podcasts are the ones who are going to want a lot more in-depth analysis and, sort of the things that you bring to the table. And also in a way that like where you can talk about like how do strength and conditioning metrics translate into actual performance on the field. Right. So you should try to go on those like audio podcasts. So get your name out there to fan bases that might not know you, and right. The secret is, turning around content also it's taxing and time consuming, right? And there are 32 NFL teams to turn around content on. So it's just a matter of when you make like a Panthers video, not that you need help with the Panthers Nation, but let's say when you make a Saints video, you should post it up there and then try to go on like a Saints audio podcast to try to pull in people from those fan bases, into the overall thing. And then, introduce like your channel, and don't be afraid to, you already do it with guys like John Jay, so collaborate within certain fan bases. And, because you do 32 teams, it's going to be a little, it's like firing a shotgun as opposed to like being a sniper. So it's a lot more difficult to I mean, it's going to be a little bit more work on your end to cultivate like all those fan bases. The other thing is, and I don't know how you feel about fantasy football, because fantasy football bridges the gap of all 32 teams. One way to also attract audience, because everybody who I know plays fantasy, and we have to be aware of what's going on league wide. It's like if you're doing like a fantasy podcast, it's an easy way to pick up followers from all over the NFL spectrum, and not just entire teams. The other thing is, Niners, Steelers, Panthers, you're talking about three fan bases that are very, historic, but also in the case of the Panthers, very digitally plugged in. So there's a bigger audience for those teams just naturally because they're better at using the internet.
Are you serious? How do you know that? How do you know that?
Well, I lived in Charlotte for a little bit of time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I can tell you something like the engagement I'm tracking like on Panthers Twitter. Like honestly, I love 49ers, but like Panthers Twitter gives 49ers Twitter a run for their money in terms of like digital engagement. And also the Panthers have a really good digital director. I mean, in terms of the way that they use their social media to grow their brand as the Panthers, like that team over the last 5 years has done an excellent job of putting things out online that are applicable, and also like that are fun and kitschy in a way that like has brought in a bigger digital audience. The team has cultivated that, as a very forward-looking thing, and as a result, keep pounding is like a deal, know. And so
it is. Like, it is. So
different fan bases are, in different tiers of how good they are with online content. And the Niners, because they're in Silicon Valley now and have all the coverage in the world, and they're the 5-time Super Bowl winning 49ers, they have a lot of journalists and, people like yourself and Mr. Cohn and Eric Crocker and guys like all that who are also creating content. So those fan bases get serviced a lot more, which in turn sort of grows the pie. So don't be discouraged when the Jaguars don't have like great digital outreach or the Bears, because honestly those are two franchises that are sort of like muddled for different reasons that have to do with their fan bases, and hopefully now the Bears with Justin Fields might be able to get their act together. But the Jaguars, they're they got Trent Baalke picking ACL guys still, and anyway, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So here's the thing. If I was to do, one of two things. One, I need to give you a call later because I need you to help me with the whole game grading software stuff. Have you ever heard of my boy What's Up G told me about this? It's called Translator or Testlator or something.com.
Oh, no, I have. What is this?
It's basically what ESPN and NFL Network uses. So I think you're talking about high level.
Oh, like behind the scenes type stuff. I don't have an ESPN.
Telestrator.com. Look up telestrator.com.
Oh, that's how they draw the stuff. Gotcha. Okay.
So you already know. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
And then two, I'm still looking at Adobe Premiere. So if we can do that, I want to do this. I want to do it for the BEASTwriter family. So I don't care about the costs. I'll pay whatever.
Well, let's talk offline about this. Maybe later on this evening for you, early afternoon for me. I'm stealing away some work hours right now, but I just wanted to
do that, bro. All right, my man. Well, thank you so much. Well, I'll touch with you later today then.
Aloha and mahalo, sir. Keep pounding.
All right, dude. Mahalo, dude.
All right, take care. Adios.
All right, Frank DeBose, thank you so much for the super chat and super sticker. He asked, heard this on another channel, but what do you think about trading Deebo Samuel for a first-round pick? I'm not sold, but what's your opinion? I don't want to do it. You don't trade Deebo Samuel for first-round pick just because the guy was injured. People are hitting the panic button. We all know what Deebo Samuel can do when he's healthy. He's going to be healthy this year, guys. I mean, you're not banking on this guy not being healthy. Your top second round pick in 2019, one of the best draft classes, along with Nick Bosa. So both those guys are going to be healthy in 2021. Why would you give up a first round pick and then spin your wheels needing to find another wide receiver, your gadget player? Again, Deebo Samuel adds another dimension to that offense. I would say no, but thank you so much, Frank DeVos. And he was the winner of the BEASTwriter family giveaway. Thank you so much, my man. All right, we have William Irvs in the stream. My man, Will, how you been, man?
Doing good, man. What's going on?
Just trying to downsize the drama that's coming here in the BEASTwriter family.
Man, bro, I don't know what that was. I look, even I apologize to you for having somebody wasting your time, precious time, arguing about somebody, a troll that's on the timeline. Bro, y'all people gotta understand, these are trolls. I mean, some of these people are most of these people are widows who troll. Some of them are really widows. And they just come on YouTube, they come on any site, and they just say stupid stuff. Like, don't waste your time, being on on BEASTwriter show. But that whole time, no offense to John V, but the whole time he could have been talking about football with you.
Yeah.
But he's talking about a troll. Come on, man. You're wasting your life doing that.
Yeah.
So forget all that. But anyway, let's talk football.
Let's do it. Let's do it. What's up?
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you think Trey Lance will make do you think Trey Lance makes your all rookie team?
No. And the reason I say that is it's not because he's not good.
Right.
He's going to be better than possibly better than the guy who made it. I have Zach Wilson simply because there's no one behind him and no one in front of him. Trey Lance is going to be an absolute baller for Kyle Shanahan. Okay. He's going to be a Pro Bowl player. Probably I would say as early as even year 2. I know that sounds crazy. Yeah. But I think Trey Lance, if he gets time to really learn the NFL game, year 2, he's going to really hit his stride. I think so.
Let me tell you something. I think he's going to make it, because you know why? Jimmy ain't gonna make it, man. Jimmy ain't gonna make it. I'm telling you, Mark. What's the day? The day is the what?
May 10th, bro. May 10th, my man.
Mark this down.
All right.
Dollar Bill Will May 10th says Jimmy G is not going. He's not gonna make it during the season. He's not. Trey Lance is going to be on that field sooner than you think. And I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this prediction. I think Trey Lance will be more of a weapon on offense than Jimmy G, and Jimmy G's a veteran because of the luxury that Trey Lance comes with. Smarts, he calls his own protection. Yeah, he good with the playbook. Kyle Shanahan said that he has the mind of a CEO. Yeah, and when you have a head coach say something like that, that's big, that's huge. Yeah, and I think that honestly, the 49ers is letting everybody in NFC West know we're going to run the ball down your throat. You saw the Cardinals got Rondell Moore. Seahawks got Eskridge. The Rams got Tutu Atwell. And we got and we just straight up got running back. We got speedy running backs. So I think that the San Francisco 49 run game is going to be hard to deal with. I really do. And I think Trey Lance is going to be heavily involved with that. And the thing is, when you have Trey Sermon and all those guys, Elijah Mitchell and all those guys with Mostert and Gallman. Yeah, Trey Lance won't have to do much because Kyle can be so creative with his run scheme. And then you sprinkle some Trey Lance in it, it's gonna be nightmares for DCs.
Well, don't forget about Deebo Samuel too. He can be used in the running game as well with those jet sweeps. So there's only one football to go around on a single play. If you dissect that multiple layers throughout the course of the game, you're looking at what? How many touches is Lance really going to put himself in a compromise or a potential compromise position throughout a game? Shanahan, like you just said and alluded to, he's very smart. Piggybacking on your analysis, they're not going to allow him to do anything stupid.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
And getting to this, I do believe Trey Lance is going to be the starting quarterback before the 2020 season is over. He is going to be starting. Now, I think it's going to be probably around week 9, week 10. Somewhere around there. That's when he's going to get the starting reps. Now, from there, throughout the end of the year,
I don't think.
You think it's going to be sooner?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I don't think Jimmy going to make it to week 10. I don't. I really don't.
Dude, that's crazy.
Not because of his injury, but we seen it, man. He's not a lot. He's not a lot that Cal can work with. I mean, in my opinion, the reason why they couldn't give away Jimmy during the draft, they couldn't find nobody. So what they're saying is, okay, we stuck with you, Jimmy. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell to go with Gallman, Mostert, Jeffrey Wilson Jr. Now, all these running backs not gonna make the team. Somebody's gonna get released. We don't know who it is, but we have to let it play out. But we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna give you these pieces, and we just gonna run the ball down their throat. And we're gonna make this easy on you, Jimmy. We're gonna make it easy on you. Now, in reality, we can't run the ball all the time. Eventually, we gotta throw it. You can't go a whole game running the football. But I mean, they really is trying to make it easy on Jimmy. Yeah. But if you put Trey Lance out there, Kyle is gonna get in his bag. Kyle is gonna open that playbook. As a matter of fact, Kyle can throw away his playbook when Trey Lance is on the field, and he can just pick up a Xbox or a PS5 remote control and just play Madden on the field.
Yeah, that's true. You're true. Very true. So Trey Sermon, I know a lot of people don't like that pick, but I like the pick. Now, Grant was saying that Trey Sermon's better than Najee Harris. I don't think that's true. We got different opinions, but yeah. I think if there's any comparison, I think Javonte Williams. Is Javonte Williams better than Najee Harris? That would be a better comparison of apples to apples. But to compare a one cut back as opposed to Najee Harris, who is a scheme universal fit for any NFL team, that in a sense is already losing value in the versatility aspect of the game. What about Javonte Williams and Trey Sermon? Let's go ahead and talk about those two players, though. Let's talk about Trey Sermon specifically as it pertains to your 49ers. I think he's going to be 1,000-yard back. I think he's going to be an absolute stud for Kyle Shanahan. What do you think about Trey Sermon? Are you as high on him as I am?
I'm high on him due to the fact that he's with Kyle. I think Kyle is going to put him in the best position to succeed. Now, Najee Harris, I think Najee Harris will have a bigger season because of what he brings to the table. But with Trey Sermon, I mean he don't have that blazing speed, but he can get you chunks of yards. You know what I'm saying? He can give you chunks of yards. If it's 2nd and 3, he'll pull out 15 yards to give you a first down, or if it's 3rd and 5, he'll give you 15 to 20 yards for a first down. It's not like he's gonna break a hole and then boom, he's gone, ain't nobody catching him. Nah, but I mean, with Kyle in his offensive scheme, I mean, any running back can succeed with Kyle. Anybody. Now, I'm not saying he's gonna, have again, I don't think he's gonna have a lot of success like Najee Harris because again, like I said, Najee Harris brings more to the table. But any running back can make it with Kyle Shanahan and can be successful. Trey Sermon gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean, Najee Harris is the better running back to me.
Yeah, Najee Harris is going to be the offensive rookie of the year when it's all said and done. I'm telling you right now. He's going to get the touches. He has the offensive line. People who don't understand football don't realize that the Steelers' offensive line is not as weak as people make it out to be. It's not. It's pretty strong. I mean, they have the best top 5 interior guard tandem in the NFL, and teams don't even know about it. Kevin Dotson's going to be a Pro Bowl player. He's a 4th-round pick, the Raging Cajun out of Louisiana. He's going to be a Pro Bowl player along the left side. You have right guard David DeCastro there, right? So you have those two pieces in play. Obviously, center is kind of blah. But other than that, man, I mean, you're pretty much set. I mean, you're between the tackles, pound and ground type of a team anyway, so you'll be doing a lot of combo reach blocking. When they get down inside the red zone, they're going to be running the ball. Najee Harris. I'm telling you, Najee Harris can also be a dual threat coming out of flat. Najee Harris, I know people were saying, oh, Najee Harris is too slow. He's not a home run threat. Why is he dropped? Why the heck is Najee Harris dropped? Just turn on the film. Leapfrogging Notre Dame defensive backs in open space in the college football. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And then saying that he can't be a home run threat.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Najee Harris to come to us. I really did. I wanted Najee Harris. Like I saw him on Instagram with the 49ers face, COVID mask on him. I thought that was like confirmation or something. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, I wanted Najee Harris, but I mean, I was caught off guard with Trey Sermon. Like I didn't see it coming, but I mean, I like the pick. think he's going to be a good piece to this offense. But I think Nigel Harris going to the Steelers, I think Steelers got a real good pick, and they're gonna have a lot of success with him.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. It's crazy, man, how everything is just like going through, because again, there's a lot of different pieces that have to come into play. Obviously, with June 1 coming around, there's going to be some play, and like someone says, hey, the Niners need a veteran wide receiver, and they do. Who would you want? Hey, would you want Julio Jones?
I would, but
okay, for a second round pick, would you give up a second round pick for Julio Jones? Yes or no? And why? You would. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I mean,
it's Julio Jones. I mean, I know he has some injury issues or whatnot, but that's Julio Jones, man. If Julio Jones on the field, he's going without a doubt give you some production on that field. Yeah, and I mean, it's going to also be easy for the quarterback as well. You got you a big target along with Ayuk and Debo. I mean, Julio would be a huge attribute to this offense.
Oh yeah,
he gonna get some balls. Get some balls. So.
Well, all right. Thank you so much for tuning in, William. Always good hearing from you. Oh, I want to get one last thing before you go. What's your draft grade for the 49ers draft class? Let's get that.
I say an A. I say an A minus. I say an A minus. They didn't get a receiver.
No minuses, no plus minuses. A, B, C, D, F.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go A. I get him an A. Now I will say this: I'm surprised Kyle didn't get a receiver out the draft. That was a shock. Like what? But I mean, I do like the Watkins dude, the undrafted free agent. I tell you what, mark this down too. I think Watkins is gonna be the third receiver.
No,
I think so. Man. And man, I seen him. I seen his film. He can separate. He got great hands. He attacks the football.
He does.
So
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, and being with Bourne being gone, I really don't see nobody filling that role but him. I mean, who else you got? I mean, you just got Debo, Ayuk. You got Mohamed Sanu.
Mohamed Sanu's. They
tried
that experiment, bro. They tried him and they freaking got rid of him. So it's like,
right. Like you really like if you look at the 49er roster right now, you don't see anything after Debo and Ayuk. You really don't. So I think Watkins coming in, man. I think Watkins is going to surprise everyone. I think he's going to get that third spot. I really do. You know, unless the 49ers still is looking at a veteran receiver out like Golden Tate or somebody, or somebody like that. But I see Watkins as the favorite to get that third spot right now. But we'll see. It's still guys still out there in free agency that
I think they're going to get a free agent, man. I'm hearing they're going to go ahead and get a veteran wide receiver somewhere. So that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's going to come true. Who knows? That could be a freaking lie. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I do know is they're thin at wide receiver. I think that's something that we all can agree with, right? I think they're very thin at wide receiver. Because if someone goes down, they have to think about who can step in that place. Obviously, what's going on with Jalen Hurd, right? So everyone's talking about Jalen Hurd.
I forgot about her. I forgot.
Yeah, you know why? Because he's damaged goods, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's true, bro. It's like true. If I was kicking with you, bro, and I have a hurt back and I'm sitting on the plane and I can't make it to watch the game because my back is hurting on the plane, that's a chronic condition, bro. That's not going to go away. That's the same thing with Caleb Farley. When people ask me, why does Caleb Farley? I said, watch him. He's going to fall. He's going to fall in this draft because of his back problem. Right. He fell all the way to the Tennessee Titans, right? I think at 22. So it's a chronic condition. It's proven. It's scientifically proven. It's not when, it's if. It's not, it's not if, it's when. Like, we all know that he's going to have this problem moving forward for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
The severity of it, what's your high tolerance for pain? What's your threshold for pain? And how is that going to impact? I mean, when you're squatting, when you're playing defensive back, you're putting a lot of pressure on your lower back there because, your back pedal, you have to, push off. You know what I mean? And then you have to, it's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Hurd for being a wide receiver. I mean, it's not as prominent as playing DB because you're upright, but still coming off your stem, you still have to break off your stem, and you're still using your back muscles to kind of break off the. your lower half, obviously, but I mean, separating from the defensive back. I mean, when he's trying to make a tackle, make a play on the ball through the receiver, like that's going to be putting pressure on your back. I don't know, man. I don't think Jalen Hurd's going to be. He's going to be the next DeAndre Smelter, I think, out of Georgia Tech. You guys remember DeAndre Smelter?
Yeah.
He was a guy who I seen him in practice. Hey, the guy could ball. The guy could ball. He just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurd can ball.
He can
stay healthy.
That's right. He can. We've seen it. We've seen it in the preseason game against the Cowboys. I mean, he was showing off. The fade route was gorgeous. And then he caught the ball, ran it in, and ran over that guy in over the pylon. We thinking like, wow, Kyle got somebody here. And then he had back problems, and then we were waiting for him the season after towards, ACL. And so it's like we already see what's about to happen. We already see what's going on with this player now. So we
all right, so we have a question here. What about Odell Beckham Jr.? Would you trade for Odell Beckham Jr. from Niners All Day 55?
Yeah, I would. They've been trying to get him for years.
I like Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, I like him too. They tried to get him. What, 3 years ago from the Giants? But the Giants wanted DeForest Buckner in the first round and some more picks. We were like, hell no.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, he went to the Browns or whatever. But ever since Odell has hit the market, Kyle and John has been trying to get him. So if they're still interested, I can see them trying to pursue him again. But they didn't try so many times, man. But yeah, I would get Odell.
Here's some interesting thing to note. I think Deebo Samuel is ultimately going to stay healthy. But if one of the receivers goes down, like even Brandon Ayuk, let's say he tears his ACL or tears his Achilles, right? Yeah. In training camp, they have to make a play for an Odell Beckham Jr. Or they don't have a. You can't count on anyone else. They don't have anyone else.
Right. They have no choice. They have no choice.
They have to make a play. So that if you're looking at it that way, if you're a GM, if I'm GM John Lynch and I'm saying I need an insurance policy because if we're in the win now mode, right? We're in the win now mode because Jimmy Garoppolo is only here for one more year. If we're really this is our Chicago Bulls save the last dance version, we need an insurance policy to help us in case someone goes down, because we can't make a mid-season trade like a Mohamed Sanu and think that he's going to pick up where Emmanuel Sanders left off.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. If I was GM John Lynch, I would just be like, you know what? Let's field some offers for Odell Beckham Jr. We know that the Cleveland Browns are possibly going to be shopping him around because he wasn't around in the playoff run. They got deep in the playoffs without him.
Yeah.
They can clean up his, get rid of his contract if they wanted to. And we can restructure that contract once he signs on if he agrees to it. But ultimately, getting a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. would be, I mean, come on.
That would be huge. Dude, that would be huge. With this roster that we have right now, man.
I'm telling you.
With the roster that we have right now, if Debo or Ayuk or any free agent wide receiver that's good comes in and get hurt, you have your next move will have to be your best move. It will have to be it can't be a mediocre move. It has to be your best move due to the fact that the 49ers are trying to get to where they're trying to get to now, because Kyle said it. He don't want his last 4 years. He don't want this coming up 4 years be his last 4 years. So anything that comes out of the organization that's coming into the organization, it has to be legit. It has to hit.
And here's the thing. The same problem with Odell Beckham Jr. Can he stay healthy? Well, you only need the guy to stay healthy for 10 games anyways.
Yeah.
Because if you combine that with what Deebo Samuel, if he gets hurt, that's another 10, 12 games. That's already more than the regular season and deep playoff runs. They're going to have at least one of the two throughout the remainder of the time, as long as they don't get hurt around the same time frame. So when you look at it analytically, you're looking at this hedging your bet, right? You're betting on both players being healthy, but in case one doesn't, you're still hedging the bet on the flip side of that.
Right.
It's like playing roulette, betting black and red at the same time. And just hopefully it doesn't hit on green.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. You got it, man. You got it. But yeah, man, it was nice talking to you, man. I'm about to head in to work. I got to work today, so I'm about to head on in, man. Just wanted to hop on real quick, talk with you, man. Thank you for having me on your show, man. And once I get situated at work, man, I hope it's pretty slow. So I'll continue to tune in.
All right, Playboy. All right, my man. Talk to you later, my man.
Mahalo.
All right. That was William Erz. All right. Let's see what else we got on here. Sean Bullard says Julio is too expensive. He's a much better teammate than OBJ, AB. Yeah, he is kind of expensive. I will say that. He is kind of expensive. All right. Jay Yang says wasted a pick on Hurd. Yeah, but it was an okay move, I guess. Joel Figueroa says, I also want us to get another wide receiver, a veteran who can score for us when we need it at most crucial times, when we need to come back from behind from a good team. Niners All Day says, can the Niners get Odell? I hope so. That'd be dope. But then every year we think about Odell Beckham Jr. and like it never happens. So it's like, oh my gosh, is it really? Is this the year it's going to happen? My man Joel from the BEASTwriter family says OBJ would be an upgrade for us if we can get him at the right price. Yes, absolutely. All right. We got Jan Paul Edward Dio says people don't realize that vertebral discs are shock absorbers and you use your spine to do everything. Yep, Kelly needs a fused vertebrae at some point. Yes, it's not good. It's not good. Aaron Sings, hit the like button too, guys. Come on now. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit the like button if you guys are watching this live stream. There's 50 people on it right now. Trent Payne said that cornerback literally broke his back. He did. Sean Bullard from the BEASTwriter family says Julio is better than OBJ and AB. All right. Joel says, I like Odell Beckham Jr. too. He's an immediate upgrade for our offense. Julio is too expensive, but he's the best wide receiver. Man, I agree. I think Julio, I'm a Roll Tide fan though. But no, Julio Jones is freaking an all-pro. First team all-pro. By far the better player than OBJ, hands down. Jan Paul Edward Didio says he also had ACL surgery. He could get arthritis on that knee like Todd Gurley. Yes. Did you not know that out of all ACL injuries, 70% of those injuries are non-contact, and a high percentage of those ACL injuries develop arthritis, chronic arthritis in the affected knee? How do I know that? NASM train, baby. Football and fitness, that's what we do here. All right, Jerry Yang says, I would take either OBJ or Julio Jones, instant number one in our roster. Aaron says Alshon Jeffrey. No, I am not high on Alshon Jeffrey, my man, from Big Boss Man's Pizza. Odell cannot stay healthy. I would not waste a pick for him. Jason Ellsworth said, I would do Julio if you would restructure his contract. Yeah, me too. Great job, Jason Ellsworth. I would agree with you 110%. Niners All Day 50 says that OBJ has shown interest in being a Niner before, and we just went to a Super Bowl 2 years ago, so I would think it would be a fine with him being a Niner. It would be nice, definitely, for sure. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this podcast. If you guys have any more questions, shoot them over my way. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this Monday. And again, if you like the channel, like the BEASTwriter family, and like the movement we are striving to build here on the BEASTwriter YouTube family channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for everything that you had to say and your insights. We had some. Jerry Yang says, missed out on an opportunity, man. So that should have been the veteran they signed back. Yeah, I said that as well. Mr. TNA says, Falcons are not trading the best Bama wide receiver in their history. It was only a smokescreen. And then 704 Charlotte Bound says, I give you Robbie Anderson for a second-round pick. Robbie Anderson, for those who don't know, he came by the ways of the New York Jets and signed that big money contract, or slightly big money contract, with the Carolina Panthers, and they now have Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore and David Moore now from the Seattle Seahawks as a trio of wide receivers moving forward. No thanks. We don't need Robbie Anderson, someone from Mount Charlotte, although he has a speed demon between the 20s. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. I had a blast on this happy Monday. I'll be sure to post my 32 NFL draft grades as we continue and break into finishing the AFC West with the Las Vegas Raiders. You guys want to know what I had to say about that? If you watched my podcast in real time on the live stream as the draft day was unfolding, especially when it came to day one and day two picks, I said that the Raiders probably had one of the worst draft grades in the BEASTwriter family here on YouTube, and kind of turns out they did. How bad? Find out in my next BEASTwriter family YouTube content channel. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night. BEASTwriter out.